Well, the worst IRL streamer out there is slowly realizing that his actions actually do have consequences, because he was just released on $1 million bond. The dude needed to get together $1 million just so he could be outside of jail, while he's currently facing 60 years in prison. So Dalton Etherly, aka Chud the Builder, he's back out on the streets after essentially being charged with things like attempted aggravated assault, and reckless endangerment. And that is also just the top things that he's been charged with. He's also been charged with a whole bunch of other things. Well, the ones I listed are the ones that essentially got him to international news headlines rather than just being like, I don't know, an internet moron. But over the last few years, I've been covering him multiple times, covering his racist tirades, his horrible behavior, and his now multiple arrests. And I also covered how this all unsurprisingly ended with him getting into an altercation, which had him essentially discharging his firearm on someone else and himself by accident. And the dude has no one but himself to blame, because you really have to try hard to be this pathetic and this hated.
You start saying all that chimp out to me, I'm gonna hit you. He hit me, started wailing on me, even after I had to defend myself by shooting him. He's still wailing on me.
I'm gonna look at it.
Did I shoot myself, or did it graze it?
You penetrated, yeah.
And now, because of all this, Dalton is currently facing 60 plus years in prison if he's actually found guilty on all these charges. But he still seems to think that he's gonna walk free for some reason. And I mean, right now, technically he is, because he's out on bail. And I feel like the most surprising thing about all this is it only took him 1 year to just completely destroy his life. Because the dude started his online career, I guess, in 2025 when he was fired from his job for some racist allegations that came against him on Facebook. Here you had an alleged road rage incident where he was photographed and a mom and daughter claimed that he called them the N-word while road raging and holding up a Christian cross. Safe to say that's not very Christian-like, but regardless, of course, this caused him to lose his job, because it's safe to say that is not a good look for the company. And he also claimed that this got him ostracized from his community. And according to him, he tried to start a new business himself, but the backlash followed him there was just so intense that instead, he decided to start making shock content online. And what was the shock content? Well, it was just harassing strangers and being racist towards them, and then labeling it as free speech when anyone confronted him about it or had any sort of problem with it, which also just really gives more validity to the original claim from the mother and daughter combo saying that he called them the N-word. But regardless, Dalton, or Chud, claimed this was his only choice for making money at this point because of cancel culture. So let me get this straight. You go semi-viral because you call a mother and daughter the N-word while road raging, I guess, and you lose your job because obviously that's a terrible look for the company. So your only conclusion to provide value to society for income is to live stream yourself harassing and being racist to strangers online to entertain degenerates who are then donating you money who only want to watch your own demise live. Like, this doesn't make sense whatsoever. How do we even get to this conclusion? I guess like apologizing and taking a break from social media, no, I guess that was just completely off the table. I mean, saying that this behavior is pathetic is an understatement. For years, I've had this core belief here on this channel that I feel like everyone should be able to go out and enjoy life in public without having to be farmed and harassed for someone's social media content or live stream without your consent. Is that really too much to ask for? Because this went so viral, how many people do you think want to copy him for their own 5 minutes of fame, which then inevitably leads to something horrific happening to them? Like, this isn't a lifestyle you want to live. Johnny proved this. You don't want to be stuck in South Korea for over a year. Vitaly proved this. You don't want to be stuck in the Philippines for like 8 months or something like that. And now Dalton is proving this because he was stuck in jail for over 2 months. He had to get $1 million somehow to bond himself out. And now he has a legal battle, which is definitely not going to be cheap. And essentially the dude has to sell his soul for some gambling company just to be able to pay this legal battle. And that is if that even covers all the costs here. Yeah, this isn't a lifestyle you want to live. But regardless, I feel like we're just kind of moving backwards at this point because there are more streamers and influencers doing this style of content than ever before. But regardless, if you couldn't tell and if you don't know too much about him, his main shtick is essentially just being insanely racist in public, harassing strangers, and then when they want to do something about it, he then maces them.
You heard me. Touch me again.
It's like combining the worst parts of IRL streaming and the First Amendment auditor people. He claims that cancel culture is the reason he's unable to just live a normal life, but I don't think repeatedly broadcasting you being hateful and racist over and over again really helps him too much here. But the more viewers watched and I guess supported his antics, the worse he then got. And then it just turned into this downward spiral that lasted for about a year, if even. So I guess he used people's rebuttals and opposition to him and I guess the threats he got as proof that his hatred was just justified, along with the legal cases that started coming his way as well. And this all started in November of 2025 when Dalton was charged with harassment after he began forwarding harassing calls and texts that he was receiving to a guy named Cody Grissom. And his reasoning for doing all this was apparently that Cody had allegedly doxed him, and that's why he's getting all these calls and texts. So in his opinion, he was simply just retaliating. And you'll notice this theme with Dalton or Chud here because nothing is ever his fault. He is always a perpetual victim, even though the dude clearly loves to instigate. Like even when he was banned from Kick around this time for his behavior, he was treating it like a freedom of speech violation, and he was being silenced. Yeah, unfortunately, he just broke their terms and service. And apparently, certain people can get banned on Kick, and that also really shows where the bar's set here for this guy's content. Because at the end of the day, freedom of speech just means you won't get arrested for things that you say, not that you can spew hatred on someone's private platform without getting any consequences. Because I've said this before, but IRL streaming, it's not a constitutional right you get as an American. No, you're using someone else's servers and platform to be able to IRL stream. So if you break the rules of the platform, you can't IRL stream. I'm sorry. But ultimately, that harassment trial was bound over to a grand jury in April of this year. So he's still waiting to find out what's going to happen there. But in the meantime, he didn't slow down his behavior online because, like I said, him being persecuted, I guess, in his own words, just made him even more angry and spiteful, and he just kept ramping up the hateful behavior on his live streams. Because only a month after that trial was bound over, Dalton went extremely viral in Nashville for just being racist and hateful. And then, on top of that, he crashed out inside of a Nashville restaurant because they asked him to kindly stop streaming while he was inside the restaurant. Because obviously, with the style of streaming he does, he was being disruptive to the other customers of that restaurant. That's a fair ask.
You seem kind of upset.
No, you are streaming now?
Yeah. We can leave.
Okay, it's time to go.
Hey, calm down. Why don't you go in the street? Why don't you go poop in the street? Hey man, don't get aggressive with me. We'll get up and leave. Thanks for the free food. Hey,
No,
Bob's Steakhouse.
Don't take care of it.
Oh no, we're not paying.
You're not paying? I go get the.
Y'all are kicking me out, or are we staying?
No, you're paying when you leave.
Oh, you think?
So what does he do? Well, he storms out and he doesn't pay for his food. And this ended up with him being arrested and charged for theft of under $1,000, disorderly conduct, and resisting arrest. And again, he tried to act like this was a massive encroachment on his freedom of speech and not a private business just enforcing rules. And I think people thought, okay, maybe after his second run-in with the law, maybe he would chill out a little bit. Maybe he would reflect, do a little bit of self-reflecting, maybe not continue the style of content, but absolutely not. Because no, just a few days later, he made national headlines for discharging his firearm and hitting a 31-year-old man and himself by accident. And then, of course, he immediately went live right afterwards.
You start saying all that chimp out to me, I'm gonna hit you. He hit me, started wailing on me, even after I had to defend myself by shooting him.
Did I shoot myself, or
Well, you
did it graze it?
penetrated, yeah.
And that's also a crazy action because you may have potentially just taken a dude's life and your immediate reaction is to go live. I guess anything is content these days. But luckily for the victim, Joshua Fox, he survived. But that doesn't mean that Chud was off the hook, because as much as he wants to claim self-defense or freedom of speech, this time he crossed the line. And the charges reflect that. Because he wasn't just hit with fines here. No, this time he was facing attempted murder, possession of a firearm, and reckless endangerment. And this all happened outside of a courthouse. So most likely, there's going to be CCTV footage showing us exactly what happened. Because all we know officially right now is there was a confrontation and this resulted in Chud discharging his firearm. So this case should be pretty cut and dry once the CCTV footage is released. But regardless, Chud then pled not guilty and the trial was also bound over to a grand jury. So Chud was held behind bars with $1 million bond, considering all the compounding charges and ongoing trials that he was currently in the middle of. And at this point, I really don't think anyone expected him to see the light for a long time, because $1 million is a lot, and he needed to raise the money from 10 separate bail companies. But now he's managed to raise $1 million from 10 different bond companies, so $100,000 from each of them. And now he's currently flaunting his freedom on his Twitter.
They call me the builder. Chud the builder.
And I guess he's posting outfit videos and clips of him speeding around what I assume is on his property on an ATV, while not really looking too apologetic for what's going on. He also says thanks Duel, which I'm assuming is the online casino, but Chud is also teasing that he's going to return to live streaming. So I guess once again, he's kind of just proving that freedom of speech is not his problem whatsoever. I mean, he's proof that you can apparently go out there and tweet hoping to shoot someone in self-defense, and then you go out there and shoot someone. Now, is this self-defense or not? I don't know. That'll be proven in a court of law.
Chud the Builder, known for starting and harassing people. Starting things and instigating and harassing people. Shoots and black man. That's what it's going to say all over the headlines. Watch me shoot this. Hey, bro, pull up. Pull up. As soon as I see you, bro, shooting your brains out. Let me see it with a weapon. I'm not sparing another one, because I did it last time. That guy walking up with a gun drawn, I should have brains out that night. Live on Kick.
But it is hands down one of the most self-inflicted and dumb situations I've ever seen any influencer or content creator put themselves into. I mean, it is right up there with Vitaly. And Vitaly temporarily got out of some hot water in the Philippines, but then went back to making content as usual and then immediately got himself back into hot water. So, with these guys, it seems to just be a pattern. But one thing that is kind of interesting is he's supposed to be under a gag order, at least revolving his case, meaning that he can't really discuss anything when he returns to streaming. So I wouldn't be surprised if he broke that gag order, because he also broke another condition by having the firearm in general. But as of right now, we just kind of have to wait and see when we find out when his trials are. And until then, it seems like he'll probably be able to stream and keep gathering money online to fight his case. And then you have this other moment where HS Tiki Talkie is now calling him out for this behavior.
So Chud the Builder's been released on bond of $1 million. I don't know who the would pay $1 million to get this out of jail. I'm all for free speech, you guys know this. But this guy literally just goes round trying to antagonize black people for content. It's actually going round and dropping to black people and then not expecting someone to do something about it is literally the most brain dead, brain rot content. Anyone getting behind him, you're like redneck, hillbilly members from America. No one with any type of brain cells is happy that this idiot is on the outside. And I honestly can't wait until he gets his comeuppance. Someone will smash the out of him, and I'm sitting here waiting for the video.
Which is honestly just pathetic, because, I mean, the dude's been doing the same stuff.
Where's the toilet?
That's the toilet.
I need to go to the toilet. So where is the toilet? Hey, mate, you're a race traitor, mate. You're an absolute race traitor. You're against the yeah?
Hey, Ajax!
You're a disgrace to the...
Alright. HS Tiki Talkie.
No.
You alright, pal?
Bro, hey, cool.
No, I followed
hey,
you on
mate,
TikTok
go up
before.
to this guy and call him...
Absolutely not.
No, mate, tell him. He's just kicked me out, brother, and he's a fellow black.
Have you paid?
So, hey, I don't know what HS is doing here, but I guess he just wanted to bring out his soapbox or something. But what it does show is tensions are quite high right now, and I feel like it's just kind of like a matter of time until something else happens. This all just kind of feels like a recipe for disaster, so hopefully no one else gets hurt from his idiotic behavior, and I guess we just kind of have to wait and see what happens. So, other than that, if you're new here, feel free to subscribe, drop a like if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.